Oh man.
Hey guys, Dalek44 here, and you no introduction, but I got one anyway.
The Lego Movie became a worldwide phenomenon when it was released back in 2014, and it was so popular that Batman from the movie got spun off into his own movie, the Lego Batman Movie, and a soon-to-be-released sequel, as well as a movie based on the Ninjago franchise called the Lego Ninjago Movie, and a sequel titled The Lego Movie 2, the second part.
And after Batman got his spin-off movie, the second character to get a spin-off in the form of a TV show was Unikitty.
Unikitty is an animated television series produced by the Lego Group and Warner Bros. Animation for Cartoon Network, starring the character of the same name from the Lego Movie. It first aired on October the 27th in 2017, and it's been going strong ever since with 2 seasons so far. The premise of the show sees Princess Unikitty, ruler of Unikitdom, having various misadventures in her land with her little brother Prince Puppycorn, scientist Dr. Fox, bodyguard Hawkadile, and advisor Richard. They also deal with the threats of Master Frown from the neighbouring Frown Town.
So as you'd expect, in my opinion, Unikitty is a great TV show. But what exactly is it that makes it such a great TV show?
The show is seen as an adventure, comedy, family, fantasy musical series, which is quite fitting for this character since we know her from the Lego Movie, and that's the type of character that she is. And of course, having Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the original creators of the Lego Movie, as well as the character being the executive producers, is a step in the right direction, because if anybody knows the character best, they do. Princess Unikitty, voiced by Tara Strong, is the princess of Unikingdom, who is a cat-unicorn hybrid. Like in the movie, she is very happy, playful, cute and upbeat, but has an angry side that she sometimes struggles to control.
One definite winner for this show is getting Tara Strong herself to voice Unikitty. Anything with Tara Strong in it is usually a great project. With one exception, of course.
Some might think it kinda cheap to not have Alison Bray from the original film voice the character in the show, but I honestly love Tara Strong's performance. She gives one of the best performances in this show. Unikitty has become one of my favourite Tara Strong roles, along with many others including Batgirl, Young Celeste, Bubbles, Twilight Sparkle, Raven, Angel, and a bunch of others we don't need to mention. In fact, every time I hear Tara Strong saying her lines for Unikitty, I can tell that she must have been having a hell of a fun time voicing this character. In fact, I think every single actor that's voiced the characters in this show have a lot of fun voicing these characters and saying these hilarious lines. She's pretty much the same old cute unicorn cat that we all know her from the Lego Movie, and for me she steals the show every time she's on screen. You just never know what cute, adorable thing she's going to do next. Prince Puppycorn, voiced by Greg Griffin, is Unikitty's younger brother, a pug-unicorn hybrid. He is sometimes clueless and dim-witted, but is also loyal and good-hearted. This character is what I can best describe as the comic relief of the show, doing stupid stuff and acting stupid, but getting a laugh out of everyone that watches him. And unlike other stupid characters whose idiotic antics would get really old really fast, Puppycorn's antics just keep us laughing every time we watch the show.
Puppycorn just makes such a great comic relief for this show, and it's impossible not to love all the antics that he gets up to.
And he's the type of character who pretty much steals the show every time he's on screen. Some of his best moments are when he's working off his big sister Unikitty, whether they're doing their sibling rivalry thing, or doing stuff together, or just being together on screen in general.
Oh no! My favorite coop! It fell out of my favorite thing! This is a disaster! No, little bro, this is great! Ever heard of a little lady called the Tooth Fairy?
Dr. Voice, by Cat Mikusi, I'm not sure if I said that rightly, is a red fox who is the castle's resident scientist who experiments and inventions and can both create and resolve problems. Dr. Fox is voiced by the current voice actor who voices Velma in Scooby-Doo at the moment. And she's one of those crazy scientists who thinks she has an answer for everything, but she ends up causing more problems than she plans to resolve at times. She also works with a group of small robots that she created for the castle's laboratory, and her inventions are normally the things that get the characters into the pickles they have to get themselves out of. She could get quite intense when it comes to solving a problem with science, like say magic and how it works. But deep down she's a good-hearted scientist who just wants to make inventions for the greater good. Hawkadile, voiced by Roger Craig Smith, is Unikitty's trusty hawk-crocodile hybrid bodyguard who has a macho personality and has a crush on Dr. Fox. Yep, you heard me right, guys. Roger Craig Smith, the current voice of Sonic the Hedgehog, is the voice of Hawkadile. He's the sort of bodyguard that likes to go around punching and kicking stuff and people as he feels is the best solution to problems. And as I said, he has a huge crush on Dr. Fox and tries to hide it. But even though it's obvious to the audience, it's not so obvious to everyone around him, including Dr. Fox. And I really enjoy this relationship between Hawk and Dr. Fox, and I really want to see where it goes further in the show as it goes on. And there's Richard, also voiced by Roger Craig Smith, a grey 1x3 Lego brick who is Unikitty's royal advisor and the castle's property caretaker. He speaks with a dull, monotone voice and is often the voice of reason, though the others find him boring to listen to. Out of all the characters in this show, Richard seems to be the only one with any common sense in the show, as he normally speaks his mind and brings logic into situations. But as I said, nobody really listens to him because his voice is really dull and boring. And just listening to this guy's voice, it's really hard to believe that Sonic the Hedgehog voices him because you wouldn't expect this kind of voice to come out of this actor's mouth.
Having Sonic the Hedgehog's current voice actor voice Hawkadile and Richard is quite amazing to me. In fact, when I first heard it, I could hardly believe that it was Sonic the Hedgehog himself voicing these two characters.
And the main villain of the show is Master Frown, voiced by Eric Bioze, Unikitty's archenemy who comes from Frowntown on the other side of Unikitty's kingdom. He is one of the Doom Lords that spreads pain and misery throughout the world as he wants to impress the other Doom Lords. This often causes him to suffer the wrath of Unikitty, who wants to spread fun and joy.
Much like Dr. Robotnik from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Master Frown comes across to me as more of an annoyance than a dominant threat to the characters, especially when it comes to his wacky, quite annoying schemes at times.
Master Frown isn't exactly the kind of villain that you could take seriously, as he's more of a fun comedic villain that you're used to seeing in old cartoon shows. And the last main character is Brock, voiced by H. Michael Kroner, an anthropomorphic headstone with a neutral personality who is Master Frown's best friend, sidekick and roommate. Brock would often hang around his apartment playing video games rather than help Master Frown with his plot. The only time he gets angry is when Master Frown neglects his part of the chores, and it's quite hard to believe that this guy was actually born in Frowntown because of his personality and the fact that he actually likes Unikitty and her friends. He's almost like the Constantine of the show, a guy who works for the main villain but is more of a nice guy than a bad sidekick. And there's so many other characters in the show that it's really going to be hard to list them all. But there's many characters there, including Phoebe, Dino Guy, Tiger Lope, the list goes on. And most of their character designs are quite unimaginative compared to the other characters, as they just look really blocky and whatnot.
But I suppose you could say that the unimaginative designs of the characters and their blocky looks is a reference to the Lego bricks they were made out of in some of the sets they came out in.
And that's quite funny to say, since in the summer of 2018 some Lego sets were made based on the show, including buildable sets and minifigure sets which included Unikitty and Puppycorn. And whether there'll be another wave of Unikitty Lego sets or not, we'll just have to wait and see.
Another great thing about Unikitty is the parodies they do in some of the episodes they've done, like the Batman episode for instance.
As well as featuring memorable characters that you love to love, the show also has a lot of great parodies in it, including movies, TV shows, video games and all that stuff. One of the best ones being the Batman episode where Unikitty finds Batman's batsuit and goes on a crime-stopping spree as Batman. And the most hilarious part of this is that they actually got Will Arnett himself, the original voice of Lego Batman, to voice Unikitty when she wears the suit, showing that there's some continuity in the Lego movie franchise with the Unikitty show.
In fact, I loved that Bat-Kitty episode so much that I'm waiting for them to do another minifigure series of Unikitty just to have Bat-Kitty in the set. That would be awesome.
And speaking of Lego movie continuity, every opening scene in the show has stop-motion characters of Lego doing stuff and then stopping what they're doing to watch the show. This is just a fun, creative thing that brings Unikitty into the Lego movie franchise. And it's especially proven when Mrs. Scratch-and-Post and a few of her cats stop in the streets to watch the show from a TV shop. Another one of my favourite parodies is when they do the Buddy Cop episode, Kitty and Hawk, because it plays on the things you'd expect to see in a Buddy Cop movie, like cool stunt driving, catchy one-liners, the good cop bad cop routine, and all that stuff.
You're my best friend.
No.
Time to huck and roll.
It's my line.
Time for a hug.
What? No.
You have the right, Jeremy.
Ah, none of this is working.
And one hilarious one is when they do a reference to Friday the 13th in the Scary Stories episode, because I never expected to see a version of Jason Voorhees get scared and run away from Crocodile. That's hilarious. Another factor that makes this show one of the best things around is the animation style. Much like Teen Titans Go, this show takes a lot of reference and inspiration from animes, with wacky facial expressions from the characters, mostly Unikitty. And that really makes sense, since Unikitty from the Lego movie is based on an anime, with her facial expressions and the way she speaks and whatnot. So it really makes sense to have anime-inspired animations here. One of the funniest things being extreme close-ups of the characters' faces.
You can wish for anything you want. Anything.
And they even got famous Japanese band Baby Metal to do the theme tune for the show. That just adds some nice Japanese culture to the show. Another great aspect of the show is the musical numbers in certain episodes. Every now and then the characters would sing how they feel about a certain thing, and most of them come from Unikitty herself. And this just shows that Tara Strong has a beautiful voice, and they never should have replaced her voice in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic for the musical numbers. I mean, come on, why the hell wouldn't you let Tara Strong sing the songs? But I digress. The show's been going on since 2017 and is still going today into its second season with 69 episodes so far. And the best place to check them out is Cartoon Network, where you can see all 69 episodes on Cartoon Network so far.
So for me, what makes Unikitty such a great show is the voice acting, the writing, the comedy, the references, and just the cuteness of Unikitty herself.
All those factors that I mentioned is what, in my opinion, makes Unikitty one of the best animated shows of today, with great animation, great comedy, great parodies, great musical numbers, and a great cast of characters and voice actors, and great inspirations from animes and other movies and TV shows. Unikitty is without a doubt one of the best shows Cartoon Network's created since Regular Show and The Amazing World of Gumball. And if you haven't seen the show yet, I'd highly recommend checking it out, especially if you're a fan of the Lego movie and just a fan of animation. I guarantee that you'll get a lot of pleasure out of this show, and it's a great way to cheer you up if you've had a bad day. Unikitty's cute moments and antics will just be guaranteed to cheer you up if you've been having a tough day at work. And for all those reasons and more, Unikitty is one of the best cartoon shows that I've seen in a long time. And I hope to see more episodes and Lego sets based on the show in the future.
I'm Dalek44, and I'll see you next time, folks.